Hi guys, it's Sonelias, and let's get going with this particular match here. So we're playing the E75, which is of course a tier 9 heavy tank, German. Pretty good game this was supposed to be, so let's have a look at what we're actually doing in here. As you can see, I'm basically going along the northern side of the map here. And along the northern side, basically, you got a little bit of cover from these hills here. There's a bit of an open gap here, but by that time that I cross here, the enemy might not be in that particular position yet to be able to spot me. But what I'm going to be trying to do, I'm going to try to get into the village in the northwest corner on the map here to try to basically use that as cover, to try to basically be able to take out the enemies that, which are also, of course, are trying to get into the actual town itself. Alright, I'm driving into a house here, which I shouldn't have been doing. I seem to be stuck a little bit. I had a bit of a connection issue at that particular point, as you can see. My gun keeps on rotating back and forth, which doesn't really help. I've got a companion there, the T-34, who's actually staying with me. Alright, I got control back. My connection was re-established. Let's see what we can actually do in this lineup here. Now, you do occasionally come across players who actually lose connection, either temporarily or permanently, so that leads to an AFK player. Now, luckily I was able to re-establish my connection here. And let's actually see, I'm going to accelerate a little bit the replay, so at least we can see where we actually end up in being here. Now, what you see me doing here, I'm actually angling slightly. I'm actually shooting at that medium tank there. What is the T-44 that I shot at? And as you can see, those other tanks there, they're slowly exposing themselves. Now, I just got hit by the other player, but he didn't actually penetrate my armor. That's quite advantageous. Ah, no, oh, sorry, that's where I got hit. I thought I just got hit, but no, I didn't get yet. But it bounced off my armor. Because I'm slightly angled, that kind of helps. I will have to angle slightly more in a minute to be able to, of course, bounce more shots. And as you can see, because I'm angled, you see the shots bouncing off quite nicely. Particularly if the frontal plate there. You see where I just got hit there? Twice on the front plate. And both times at a slight angle, which of course actually means that the effective armor is bigger than that. Right, I just took out that medium tank there, the T-44. So one tank less on the enemy team. Now, there are a few other tanks there on the western side, so slightly ahead of me there, who are actually trying to take cover behind that church there. And as you can see, thus far I've already done about 1200 points worth of damage. I've bounced off 320 points of damage. Now, I do need to watch out for that T-95, who's just south of us. But I think at that particular point I hadn't actually spotted them on the map yet. Now, we do see that that heavy tank there, the T-34, is opening itself up potentially. We also got the M46 that's potentially opening itself up. And I also noticed here I just got hit by that tank over there. My tracks were shut off. So they got penetrated by the 50 TP, unfortunately. Oh, they didn't get actually penetrated. I actually got my tracks off. That was the only thing, damage I actually suffered. So no hit points lost thus far. Nice shot against the T-34. And what you see me doing, I'm trying to basically keep my main body, of course, angled. My turret wasn't angled so well, but as you can see, the enemy was actually trying to be sneaky here. They're trying to get around where I was positioned. And I don't need to really take into account two different angles. And my armor just got penetrated because I wasn't actually angling far enough. Now, I do, of course, want to make sure that my team doesn't lose. So I want to basically make sure I keep use of that particular block here in front of us. And, of course, I try to basically take these enemies out here at the same time. Side scraping again. And that, of course, creates enough, of course, effective armor for me to be able to withstand the attacks of these two enemies here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to penetrate that one. I need to change my... Yeah, as you can see, because I wasn't actually at the right angle, he was able to penetrate my armor quite easily. Alright, I've got one kill thus far. And again, I was able to bounce another shot off from the T-46. Now, that guy over there is going to expose himself in a second, and I'm able to take him out with a nice shot. Now, we got the IS-3 there, and luckily I've got one of my buddies in the Black Prince there actually helping me out as well. Now, we are actually in the lead at the moment with a 9-to-6 ratio at present. Unfortunately, did I just shoot my friend? No, luckily I didn't. Now we do have another enemy tank right in front of me. I've actually been able to bounce over 3,000 points worth of damage thus far. Let's just go through the building here. Luckily the Black Prince was able to take out that enemy player there. And unfortunately he got killed in the aftermath of that by the M46 Patton. Oops. The T-34 just hit me. It looks like that wasn't a heat shot because it was such low damage that actually caused. Now, heat shots of course are more likely to cause damage. Even if they do not penetrate, they're still likely to cause damage. Alright, I'm trying to basically keep my frontal armor against him. And luckily, I was able to just destroy him with a ramming attack. Now we do have of course the T-34 right in front of us as well. I'm just waiting for him to expose himself. I'm able to penetrate his armor. Now I suspect I might be angling my armor well enough to be able to withstand him. I'm trying to keep an eye on where he is. See if I can actually put another shot into him. Now we're standing at 12-9 at the moment. Close to 5,000 points of damage we've dealt thus far. We've bounced 3,400 points of damage. Okay, nice. So my ally in the T-25 just took out the T-34. Let's speed up a little bit to get into the position there. Now we got 2 tank destroyers there. And I was able to place another shot into one of those 2. Which actually takes me at over the 5,000 points of damage dealt thus far in my heavy tank here. Tier 9 heavy tank. Only one enemy remaining and he was taken out by one of my allies. Nicely done. Thank you.
So having seen the replay, where does that leave us? Now, as you can see, we got quite a bit of experience out of here. We got the Master Badge. We of course also got the badge for actually having most of the actual shots bouncing and so forth. Now, but overall we got a nice 72,000 credit and of course 9,000 experience. Now the 9,000 experience is partly due, of course, due to the rewards of merit, plus of course also completing some of the quests. Now in terms of the total team ranking, we basically see that I'm at the top. I've got 1,246 base experience. Total damage caused of 5,335. In total 3 tanks destroyed and of course 1 merit earned. Now compared to the next player up, that is almost 400 points of experience more than the others, but most definitely a gap of about almost 2,000 points of damage more than the next player up, which is the Jagdpanzer, or sorry, Jagdtiger I should say. Anyways, looking at the rest of this, what else can we observe here? The enemy team doesn't have as much in terms of experience, which of course is because they're the losing team here. But at the same time, the highest damage dealing one is also not having dealt enough damage there. Now, total shots fired was 14. Now, out of those, there were 14 hits, of which 11 penetrated. That's a nice ratio, I would say. So we received, of course, a reward bonus for this particular one here. And we'll also be able to see, of course, that we received the maximum experience, which was in this particular instance the 1,246 base experience that we've gotten on here. Now we added some points into the reserve stock for the credits, as well as of course the total credit earned after, of course, all the deductions still coming out in the positive. Guys, thanks.